Right, task 10.7. That's also one that I thought you can do on your own. The first thing that you're looking for are information. Right, the first thing you see here is that your customers are allowed 30 days, which means that they will only pay us the next month, 1 month. That's the first thing you need to realize. We do not offer discounts, so that helps with our calculations. And then all outstanding debtors on March are this. So March, the people that owe us in March, we will probably receive in April. Right, that's what they're trying to tell you here. Expected total sales are shown below. This is total sales. But remember, we need to show in a cash budget money received for cash and money received from our debtors. A debtor is someone pay us later. Okay, these debtors will pay us the next month. They tell us that of the total sales per month, 75% are on credit. So I can now know that 25 will be cash, 75 will be credit. So if I work out 25% of 174,000, I can fill in my cash. And April will be received in April and May will be received in May. Sorry for the announcement. So now you have your cash sales and you can fill in your cash sales so long by working out 25% straight away and put it into the cash sales. Okay? However, if you look at credit sales will be paid 1 month later. So where did they get that 13500 from? Remember they told us that our outstanding debtors will pay us only the next month and 75% will pay us. So now we look at our credit sales here and we fill in the 75 here. This is not our cash budget yet. This is just working out what we're going to get. Who are the cash and who is credit. Now here we get to the budget section. This is what we want to know. The cash we can take as is into the budget. But the credit we must remember. One, we actually need, for credit, we need 1 month back. We need March. Okay? And they gave us March. One was 111, 000. So when will we then receive the money for April? We received it, it's the money from March. So if you now look at this answer, and I will place it on the screen. That 111 that they said we owe, the debtors owe us in March, is going to be received in collections will be in April. The 75% from April will be paid in May. The 75% from May will be paid in June. The next month, 1 month later, the next month. Okay? So that is just a simplified one, but that's not really how we do this. We have another system of doing it. So we're going to learn to do a more comprehensive debtors collection schedule. And we're going to do it according to the one that I've asked you to work through on page 401 in my book, the alternative format here. Even they do a little bit extra. We will not necessarily have a column for credit sales. What we will do is we would put our credit sales for that month next to, in brackets, next to the column. I will do that with you in the next exercise. Let's therefore just look at how this business operates. Okay, if you look at the debtors information here, they tell you 40% of sales, of total sales, will be on credit. So if I then look at what was my sales for November, 40% will be on credit. So what we do is we put the 40%, the 98 year in brackets. Okay? You will put it in brackets. And then 40% of December and 40% of January and 40%. So 40% is credit, the rest is cash. That will obviously be received in the month. The cash credit sales have to give me more information on the term. And what are the terms that we have seen from the past? We saw that even if we give them, it doesn't matter what we give the debtors, if we say 30 days or 60 days, what happens is 50% pay within the transaction month. So that's in the month. 50%, half of it. So half of the people will pay us in the month, but then we only receive 45% because we give them a 5% discount. So you have to keep it in mind. Then, so if you work out 50%, you work out 50% of the sale, the credit, and then you minus the 5% discount. Then you work out 30% of the sale for the next month. In the month following, that's 1 month. Then 80%, 2 months, 18%. The rest will be written off after that in the 3 months. So only after that. Now, you have to keep in mind, grade 11s, that when we're talking about bad debts being written off after that, if you are busy with a cash budget that falls in that period and the 2% is still in the next month, then you must record those debtors as still owing money. You will only wait for the next month before you will write them off. Okay? Now, I asked you to look at the alternative one. What's the first thing that you need to ask yourself? You must ask yourself, what is this period, January to March? So they are actually just interested in the section January, February and March collections. However, we know that we take about 2 months before we receive money. So if we give them, we saw that it takes up to 2 months to collect money from debtors. We need to therefore, if we are asked to show a budget period, we need to start 2 months before that here on this side. So if they ask me, show the collection schedule for January, February and March, I have to go 2 months back. What comes before January? December. And what comes before December? November. 2 months back. So they need to tell me the credit sales from November. Why? Because in November I won't show. 1 month is December, I won't show. But 2 months after, 2 months, it says 18% will be shown in this collection period that they want me to show. So I have to always consider, what is my period? January to March. How long does it take people to pay me? And I look at the longest period and I see it was 2 months. Now I work 2 months back on this side when I draw up my schedule. Because in the month, no. December, no. 60 days, yes. 2 months after, how much? 18%. So I show it. If you take December, in the month, no. Next month, 1 month, yes, 30% of that, January. The 60 days after that, 18% of that goes there, February. Next month would be bad debts. The bad debt section would be 2% is bad. I like you to work it out anyway, because when you get to the end, the last month, then the rest would be bad. And it's good to put it in there because they love to ask you a question of how much of your debtors did not pay you and how many of your debtors will you have to write off. So it's always, and then now you have to go back and redo the calculation. So for me, it's always nice to just fill it in there. Okay, then January. In the month, 50% of the sale, you will put it in brackets there. Not as a column, except if they ask you to show the column. Otherwise, we just put it in brackets here. And then 50% in the month, 50% of 112. But remember, in the month, you give them 5% discount. Minus 5, that gives you that. 30% next month, that's 2 months. That's 1 month. That's in the month. Then 18% 2 months. The rest will be written off. They stagger it like that. We will just write it in one line. February, in the month, 50% minus 5 of 84. That is in the month of February. Can you see? Next month, that's 1 month, 30%. There. The rest of it will be regarded as outstanding debtors. So the rest would be 20%, will be regarded as outstanding debtors. March, in the month, 50% minus 5% there. The rest of it, which means the other 50%, would be regarded as outstanding. You will not regard it as bad debt. Why? Because you have not finished the period yet. There's still percentages that can be regarded as money that I will receive before I will write them off. So they will be regarded as outstanding debtors. Right. It's only this guy here actually that will be regarded as a bad debt. Why? Because the next month is in March and we would have written him off then. Okay. If anybody owes me money here still, it means it's still an outstanding debt. Okay. Now we will do the next exercise. I will do with you slowly.